Hey everyone, welcome to Echo 4. My name is Booty Monique and I am hosting today's video in honors of spooky season and all of us being part of the global majority. It is only fitting that we talk about Marvel's first Black superhero horror movie, Blade. We're going to talk about how this movie kind of jump-started the superhero genre and how underrated this movie has become over the years and how it's starting to come back with the new Blade remake with Mahershala Ali. But before we get into all of that, let's introduce the rest of Echo 4. Who's gonna go first?
It's Drea. Hi.
Hey.
Yo. Can't sign in the house.
Come on.
Gosh.
I'm the Mad Prince and I'm drunk as shit.
And we did it, boys and girls, after 6 months, 7 months of being together. We got one.
Fuck up soon.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Jesus Christ. Anyways.
Because it always happens. Let me turn this shit off.
It'd just be too soon.
I mean, it fits your personality, so could leave it on there. But let's go ahead and jump into the first point. What are your honest opinions about the movie Blade and the character Blade? Who wants to go first?
Nigga. Such a nigga. Such a nigga.
That's such a nigga.
They grabbed it. They took the most nigga actor to make him play a black character. Yo, Hollywood would never do that shit these days,
nigga.
Bro. They would never do that shit. Motherfucker, hold up. Motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. Boy, get the fuck out of here. They made Nino Brown into a fucking vampire hunter. Nigga, y'all had me dying. Shit.
So you think it was a very
it was the black as fuck movie.
It was a black as fuck
movie.
It was hilarious. It was
and we only acknowledged the first two.
No, not that third one.
No.
What?
What third one? I don't know what you're talking about. That's bullshit.
It was a trilogy?
Stop the cap.
Duology.
Stop the cap.
We left on a cliffhanger.
Well, okay. What did y'all think about the movie besides it being black as fuck? Was it entertaining? Was it just like meh? Was it like what did y'all think? Go into details. Give some details.
No, it was dope. You know what? It was dope because not only did they have one black main character, they had two. God damn it.
And both dark skinned too? I'm like, oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. You said what?
Chocolate.
Dark chocolate, more like it.
Yes, they were okay, so this movie, like I love this movie. My mom was a big Wesley Snipes fan, so when it came out, we all went and saw it together, even though probably shouldn't have been seeing it when it came out because I was definitely a kid. But my parents are different. They operate different. So anyways, when I saw it, and I was just having so much fun, and then it was just one of those movies, a comfort movie in our house. And we quote it all the time. Like literally me, my brother, and my mom quote Blade, all of them, all the time. So I really love this franchise. I know everybody shits on the third one. I get it, but I can still watch it. So
girl, third one?
No, hey, if you heard the stories of what happened behind the scenes, bro, you'll know why that shit was
spill that tea.
Yo, you hear what? Yo,
give us one, okay?
Yo, y'all really want to hear this shit? Cause
just one. Okay, we'll spill more later.
Okay. All right. So this man, like Wesley Snipes, tried to finesse a sex scene with Jessica Biel in the third movie. And he tried hard as hell to do that shit, and they wouldn't go for it. Like that's not yo. It's like Wesley was just the worst motherfucker to be on that film, bro. We'll get into it. I'll drop another.
Wow.
It's like a Dave Chappelle's it's like a Dave Chappelle's schedule special, Joe. It's like, yo, the first time I met OJ Simpson. We'll get into it. I'll drop another.
Well,
tidbit.
we all know the actor Wesley Snipes definitely had his issues, but let's not focus on him too much. Let's focus on
I'm dropping these facts. Fuck
no, definitely drop the facts, but
they will be random.
Those are the best ones.
Like announce it like Blade fact number 2.
I'll renounce them when I'm ready to say it.
Fact number 3.
Damn.
All right, so let's go on. If anybody else have anything else to say,
jump in here. I think that's pretty much maybe my first vampire movie. I don't think there was any out popping like that. I don't think I was watching the interview of a vampire back then.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That's gonna be the next point. It's funny you said that.
So I think Blade was like the major vampire franchise that I got into, and then I think it was Underworld. So it was really entertaining for me.
Necessarily, because I think. Oh, go ahead.
It was 98, so I can't think of anything that came out beforehand.
I got a list on the. I got a list.
Dracula. Yeah. Dracula's good. Dracula's good, and that soundtrack is amazing.
Okay, hold on, y'all, because y'all jumping into my next point.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yes. All right. So at the time, there was a lot of like supernatural vampire movies coming out. For example, Dracula, as Will stated before, Interview with the Vampire, From Dusk Till Dawn, and a Black classic vampire movie. What they told me and my family. Vampire in Brooklyn, played by Eddie Murphy. I never seen it.
I saw that shit, yes.
Okay.
I forgot that shit existed. God damn.
They all came out in like the 95 to like early 2000s.
Yes,
so it was just like a cluster time where it was like every year another vampire movie was coming out. So what sets Blade apart from these other vampire movies at that time?
Other than a man gets to walk in a black vampire getting to walk in the daylight and be kicking these niggas' asses.
It's real as shit.
Do you think because he was black, that was probably the reason why we were just like,
I mean, that's part of it.
Because it was the 90s, Joe. All that fucking techno music they had in this shit. Yo, no, because you know what?
Right.
Blade had a whole grim aesthetic.
That's what I like.
That's kind of like, we see that shit all the time now, but back then that was kind of different.
Yeah.
Because it was grimy, it was like darker and shit.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like the whole like cinematography of that shit was drastically different. And it's like, yo, this is nuts.
I definitely agree. Go ahead, Will.
For me, it was like because me being a big fan of Batman, it's like, oh, some there have been some comics before of like a concept of Batman if he was actually a vampire or suck blood or something like that. It's like, oh, so for me, it was like, oh, he's like, not only if Batman like sucked blood was a vampire, but he's also black, and it's just badass to me. It's because it was rare to really, extremely rare to see anything with a black main character as a superhero on top of that, or just any form of hero, just any black main character that's like badass like that. Like it's like the whole outfit he has. Like I like the armor, how like it's like form fitting, like this his whole aesthetic, like he wears sunglasses in the pitch black. It's like, bro, what are you seeing? Like
swag never stops.
First of all, I've done that same shit.
Beyond sight.
I feel like I feel personally attacked.
Yeah, can't try to get his answer right now through Blade. Like, well, why do you wear sunglasses in the daytime?
Over your glasses.
Nighttime.
Well, first of all, I see better with. That's why I put them over the glasses.
Oh, you're really gonna answer it? Okay. I wasn't really asking.
And two, when I get to a certain level of drunk, my eyes get very sensitive to light. So there you go.
Okay. See, so like, okay, cool. All right, Drea.
Practical reasons. About Blade.
Yeah. But you don't remember these other movies, but go ahead.
I mean, as in like, not really, because when it comes to like vampire series, I have Blade 98, Van Helsing, that didn't come out till like 2000s, Underworld didn't come out in 2000. So it seemed like when it comes to vampire hunters, that was really new for me in the 90s. I didn't see it again too much later. Van Helsing was like a time period. So this is like a modern vampire, half vampire at that.
Yeah.
And he's black. You ain't gonna get that. How many other black vampires we got? I'll wait.
That one black.
That one man in Twilight.
Blackula.
Blackula.
I mean,
Well,
what?
no,
True
after
Blood?
Blade, yeah.
Count Tyrone from Compton.
Are you really? Did these
Off
really?
of Crenshaw.
No, this
I'm
is not
kidding.
really.
Like,
Yeah, this is not what.
All right.
I mean, it
the
was unique.
For
It was
real,
unique
Williams.
of its own.
Yeah.
And I don't think we ever got anything like that again. And then if you watch Blade now, it will feel antiquated with its soundtrack and all that jazz. So, it was refreshing.
Okay.
And I can't wait for the remake.
Okay, so the second fucked up thing that happened on Blade Trinity. Wesley Snipes left post-it notes around the entire set because he didn't talk to anybody directly. He literally just, whenever he has a demand or like a comment or some shit, he write a post-it note, stick it somewhere, and he didn't sign it as Wesley Snipes. He signed it as Blade.
That's like that one roommate that hates confrontation. Just like don't want to talk for nothing.
No,
Wesley Snipes doesn't hate
asshole.
confrontation.
He sound
being
like
an asshole.
confrontation.
Yes, he's being an ass. Okay, well that's.
That is peak diva level. I ain't heard nobody leave.
But I already heard
post-it
that he's an asshole on the set. I've heard that. But thank you for that. Fact number 2. What did I think about? I'm pretty much everybody, like what you guys said about the setting and the fact that he was black, and he was just really cool. Like, like the design in his head. I was like, I seen niggas look, similar to him. And
Swag.
yeah, he was swag. He was drippy. So I really enjoyed it.
He was a nigga in a long coat. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind.
yes, you give me Blade vibes, Will. You give me Blade vibes.
Never mind.
Now you know what to do for the escape room. Be Blade, nigga.
Let me stop.
Hey.
Let me stop, because that's like what the pot what is the pot calling the kettle black or some shit.
Yep, that's
Skittle.
But you have most of the stuff materials for that cosplay too.
Go ahead, do it.
If you don't come, just take a picture in it.
I do. That's what's fucked up. I hate it.
It's not even cosplay, it's a lifestyle.
It would be at this point. I just don't have the high faith like I used to when I was like 8 or 9. Shit.
Yeah. All right.
You want a lace front?
Moving on to the next point.
Because
he's not gonna say yeah. What was I gonna say? So Blade is a Marvel character. When did y'all figure out that he was a Marvel character? Because I felt like I figured that out so late in the game.
When I read it in the credits.
Really?
When in the opening credits
in '98, you was reading the credits
and association with Marvel. What the?
In association, that doesn't mean that I knew. Okay, anyways, because Will just be knowing everything.
What would Marvel be doing with the vampire hunter if they didn't own the character?
The whole point, I didn't read the credits, so I was 7. Let's go.
I will help you. I will help out.
I probably was gone.
And first of all, I was not remedial. My ass like to read, and I do not recall in association of Marvel. Well, I didn't realize that shit too much later on, even though it doesn't fit the typical Marvel, I guess, not even demographic, but whatever. I can't think of the word.
I own the video and I watch it with my brother all the time. So there you go.
Okay, he lived Blade, hence why he got the cosplay for it in his closet. But as for me, I did not realize that shit too much later, which kind of makes sense because it doesn't feel like a fucking Marvel movie.
Yeah, not what we have been used to watching. Yeah, right.
But even then, it's like, I mean, it came up before what you're used to watching. So like, it's technically, it's more original Marvel than
it is
the new one. Yes.
And I know you're totally correct on that. But because I guess when we started watching like the start of the MCU, we were close to either grown or close to being grown. That we were a little more like observant of like what we're watching. Like
you intake a little more information.
No, let's keep it a buck. The 90s were fucked up. They push bounds. They push some serious fucking bounds.
And I want to talk about that.
90s is edgy. That's one thing I like growing up in the 90s.
Yes. And like the Blade is rated R. So
Yes.
I'm just trying to see now. Okay, let's just go ahead and talk about it. Is amazing.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. But that's gonna be another point towards the end. I was gonna bring it up now, but let's go ahead and just talk about. Did y'all feel that Marvel kind of like neglected Blade like after that third movie came out and it did so bad? And I just felt like it was like treated like a bald-headed stepchild.
No, Marvel neglected all of his properties. That's why Sony has the rights to Spider-Man now. So there you go.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why they started to go a little bankrupt.
Because they didn't because Marvel back in the day, they didn't think that this shit would snowball to what it was, superhero movies and shit. And that's why they sold the rights to Spider-Man, which is like one of the like fucking cornerstone fucking characters and shit. That's why they sold the film rights to it, and Sony got their hands on that shit, and that's why they ain't letting that shit go. That's why, and now that Disney got their hands on Marvel, they wouldn't like to have that shit back, and they have to finesse some shit with them niggas because legally they can't do shit.
Right.
They had to make compromise because Sony is like, this is money right here that y'all gave away that we took. So it's like, I mean,
Disney didn't give away. Disney ain't that stupid.
I know it's
Marvel just didn't give a fuck.
Well, Marvel, I was reading on Wikipedia, but it seems that Marvel has always been having just trouble with creating films because some of them were not doing well, and so it was a lot of people buying off because it was like Marvel Enterprise and it was like Marvel Entertainment, and then became just Marvel. So they seem like they just been having a hard time in general. So yeah,
and let's be clear, Marvel started the MCU, not DC. I mean, not me. Marvel started DCU, Disney. not Disney.
Yeah.
All right, because that's why we haven't gotten another Incredible Hulk film. It's because they had to deal with Paramount, because Paramount released that original Incredible Hulk film, and they would have to deal with them, and like they're not gonna do that shit. That's why they put Hulk in Thor Ragnarok, because there's some deal going, because there's like legacy deals going on, even though Disney bought them people. So Disney got all the money in the world, so all them smaller studios and shit. I say smaller relative to like Disney. They're gonna leverage that. They're gonna leverage that shit as much as they can.
Yeah.
So in order to keep the Hulk in the universe, they had to send him to space and then bring him back.
No, they don't own the film rights to the Hulk though, but it's probably some sort of like distribution deal put in place. Like, but no, like, because it's different than like what Sony has. Sony has like film rights to have film rights to like certain characters that's associated with Spider-Man, including Spider-Man himself. Paramount probably has like distribution rights for any sort of film specific to the Hulk. That's probably what's going on.
Yeah, that's why I said he's a side character in Thor instead of. They had to send in space.
Right.
Okay.
So the third bit of news. So the third bit of
Blade facts
from Blade Trinity. Shit. What was it? Wesley Snipes was high all the time. This nigga smoked weed literally every day, every hour, and he showed up to the set high. He in his downtime he was high. He basically didn't give a fuck. All right, like other people commented on it. He was like, all right, fine, we don't give a fuck so long as he does his shit though. But it was a fucking nightmare.
Luckily he didn't have a lot of lines, so he didn't have to remember
and you wonder why.
Yes,
they probably know.
They probably didn't have a lot of lines because he was always high, so therefore, yeah.
That sounds like some Johnny Depp shit on Stranger Times. They had to feed him lines through an ear set because he just wasn't.
Stranger Times is the most forgettable, and we don't talk about that movie. I haven't even seen that.
Oh, that's fine.
I haven't even seen it either.
What is it?
Stranger Times.
Exactly.
The fourth.
Exactly.
We don't acknowledge that one. So, we don't acknowledge it.
Yeah. So Pirates of the Caribbean went to 1 and 3, and then it had a 5th movie. And there's been a dark period where something happened. I don't know what happened there, but
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to answer why Blade was a bald-headed stepchild, if you high as a kite and the movie didn't go so well, and you got all these other popping vampire movies, are you really looking for a Blade the 4th, 5th?
Yeah, I definitely.
And then Marvel's rebranding, Blade does not fit. Then again, what actor will you have around that time in the 2000s to play Blade? Because I'm sure at that point they're like, I don't want to work with Wesley Snipes anymore.
That's true. Actually, I brought this up to my boyfriend. I was talking about like how many Black actors could fit that role, because apparently there was a couple of Black actors trying to audition for it, but Wesley got the role. But I was like, it really wasn't a lot, especially like he's an action star. You see, like, right? Like you got to think about it.
You imagine Denzel as Blade?
He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it.
You think you're gonna do this to me?
He talks too much. Okay, but let's talk about
you motherfuckers. And
Wesley Snipes.
By the end of the day,
You ain't gonna have Will Smith as Blade.
Hell no.
No, I thought that, and then I dismissed that thought just as quickly. I was like, yeah, nope.
No, that would not work. He's too goofy. But also, you gotta think about
vampires.
Or he gonna film a music video of vampires dancing on the ground.
He would. Because you know what? Because it was the late '90s. He would have filmed the music video for that shit.
He would have. Who's gonna do it? Omar Epps, like Morris Chestnut.
And you know what? You know what's fucked up? He would have sampled that shit. Like it was like the freaks come out at night.
Hey!
The freaks come out at night.
Automatic
Blade and the freaks come out at night. Kill them all, bitch. Big Will. Like, he wouldn't say bitch because Will Smith doesn't curse. Shit, yeah. So he wouldn't say bitch though. But you like we going to.
Oh my God. You need to make up a song. That song was popping, but the movie was
yeah.
The movie host
is
trash.
In the West.
The movie host damn mind in the
West. Loveless.
No, my brother has a soft spot for that movie. I didn't care for it that much. I was like,
yeah, I would say I wouldn't say a soft spot, but it holds a special place. It's a more unique place. There's some things about that movie I'll say, but
in short, nobody fits the Blade. Nobody fits the bill.
Yeah, no one. Yeah,
ain't no more Chestnut. No Omar Epps, Tay Diggs. Nobody.
I was talking about how that Wesley Snipes was
Tay Diggs too damn short. You can't.
That's true.
Yo, you can't have a nigga. You can't have Blade being like, yo, you
ain't got to do this, Will. Do it, Prince. You don't gotta do this.
Need to ice skate uphill. Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill.
They do that with Tom Cruise. They can do that with.
Tom Cruise is white. That's a bone in his own.
Hello,
damn right.
Say, ain't privileged enough.
Okay, I was trying to say, y'all. Wesley Snipes is an action like actor. Like he does martial arts, so it's just like it's really hard to find an actor that could do the moves and look believable. And
Michael John White was clearly busy.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Like the only one. That's what I told him.
Was he really popular? All I remember him is for Bandia movies.
He did what? No,
that was before though.
First of all, Michael John White was the first African American actor to play a major superhero character because he played Spawn. Spawn came out before Blade.
Yes, he did. Yep.
So damn, what happened? What was he doing?
Maybe
it's just like it's hard to the markers, like to have him playing as another character in a different competing universe as Spawn.
Oh,
yeah. So like then.
I could definitely see that being the case.
And then it's like, oh, you're having the Spawn guy play as a vampire now, because it's like imagery,
But even though Chris Evans definitely played in Fantastic Four, then turned around and played.
But he buffed up. He grew
Captain
his hair
America.
out.
I didn't know who that nigga was. I was like, oh, that's when somebody pointed out. Oh, that's him from Fantastic Four. I didn't even know.
See, that's the thing
because it was forgettable.
That's the thing about the MCU. It redeemed all the Johnny Blazers.
All of the fantastic.
It redeemed Johnny Storms. It redeemed all them niggas. Because remember, Michael B. Jordan was Johnny Storm at one point too. And
now
he became Killmonger and he redeemed himself.
Yeah,
Jessica Alba was.
He was still on some nigga tree and what if?
Yeah, he was on nigga tree and what if.
Can't say everybody.
Yeah, just those. Yeah, those two in that movie.
Like,
all right.
So the fourth bit of trivia from Blade Trinity. Wesley Snipes never called what's buddy name? Ryan Reynolds by his name. He always referred to him as that cracker. Never talked to him directly. He was like, hey, tell that cracker X, Y, and Z. Did that constantly.
He didn't put that on the post-it note.
No. I guess he might have, but he always referred to him as that cracker. That's it.
I want Drew a
Always
Ritz
that
cracker at that
cracker.
point. I wasn't gonna spell that out.
You gonna throw? You said throw Ritz at him?
No, I'll draw
Oh.
a Ritz cracker on the post-it note or saltine. I'm gonna wear all that out.
All right, that's probably I think that's the last bit of trivia I can remember from that fucking shit show of yeah.
All right, moving on to the next point.
That's why they neglected Blade.
Give me a second.
All right. So now that it feels like Blade is finally getting the recognition that it deserves, with the recent announcement of Blade, the Blade remake with Mahershala Ali being the lead, what direction do you think this version will take, knowing that MCU has a formula now? How do you think Blade will fit into the MCU? Especially because we probably will assume it will not be rated R, just because it's now in MCU. So
wait, it's gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be in the MCU. It's not gonna be an association like Venom.
Well, I thought it was gonna be in the MCU because that's what when they announced it, it was during the
it's part of MCU.
MCU panel. So yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's part of MCU. But with that, yeah, like what you said, like with that being part of MCU, it has to be part of that environment, which is not a rated R environment.
Right.
Which, how is you gonna? It's kind of like how would they fit Deadpool in there, which they haven't really yet. So
right.
It's like how are they gonna do that with So they'll have to kind of dial them down as like from rated R to PG to that level, which I feel like would affect the character in a negative way.
But you know what I liked about the original Blade is that he did drop the F-bomb. He was
that's what I'm saying. Like,
so
it's good. You're taking away some elements that makes him what he is, and like by putting him in an environment where, well, I mean, you can see how it plays out. I mean, so depending on the ratings, they get looser and looser with the ratings nowadays. They may be allowing one F-bomb or so. For
a PG-13 movie, it's always been like you get one F-bomb and that's it. After that, you get bumped up.
Okay, what you think, Prince?
Shit. It's gonna be interesting because at the same time, when we talking about R-rated movies, Disney is not really known for that shit. But like, this ain't the only like property that's historically been R-rated that's coming back into the fold. Cause what was it? Deadpool was back in their clutches now that they own Fox and shit. So they said that they wouldn't make Deadpool anything less than an R-rated film because it'd be out of character and shit.
But then they experimented with the Christmas special one. It was like wasn't that one PG-13 or something?
Yeah, it was It was really.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't want to watch it. Shit.
Yeah, that's exactly why I didn't watch it because it was PG-13. I was like, that's not Deadpool. Like, that's what I'm like with this new Blade.
So yeah, with this new Blade, it depends on how they do it. Like honestly, I kind of don't care if it's R-rated or PG-13, so long as the story's good, the action's good, all that shit. In terms of level of like gore, if they if they somehow manage to keep that shit, then by all means. I mean, we literally sat down 10 years watching like Captain America cap niggas with a fucking 1911, then all of a sudden niggas getting snapped out of existence. I mean, come on, like
yeah, but it's a little bit
but
different.
It's not really gory. It's like they just get turned to dust and ash. It's like it's different from like.
And when they do go dark, they do
that.
really smart editing where you're not necessarily like, I think about Falcon and Winter Soldier when what's that white guy that wanted to or was the new Captain America,
John Walker. I forgot his name.
John
and
Walker.
when he like took the shield and but we
It
didn't
was
actually see it, right? Exactly.
Doesn't matter. There was blood on the shield.
Though. It was
Yeah,
blood
so
on the
it's
shield,
like
bro.
you can do creative editing so we can piece what happened together
to emphasize what's going on,
right? But I do think it would kind of take away a little bit from Blade because he has a sword. that nigga be slicing. So it's gonna be interesting. I wonder how it's gonna like show in the MCU because that's basically his way of fighting. So what do you think, Drea?
I mean, as long as the action and story is there, I'm sure I'll be fine. It's just the last time that we had a black lead in the MCU was hella preachy. and I don't need that.
That I don't need. And I honestly, that wouldn't even fit Blaze's character. So if they did that, I'd probably be like, all right, y'all, y'all
I have my
tweaked.
head out.
Right? All right. Probably stay there because the movie tickets are expensive now, but
That's why you
probably
go
on my phone. Yes, the bitch be tired, but I feel you. Definitely Tuesday's better.
All right, so the fifth bit of news.
Nigga, you said okay, go.
There was one more.
Go, sucker.
There was one more. There was a scene in Blade Trinity where Blade was in the morgue and like he had to open his eyes, but for some odd ass reason, Wesley Snipes wouldn't open his eyes even when he was directed to for the camera. And so they put he wouldn't do it, and like they had to put CGI eyes over him in that scene.
Why?
That nigga's difficult, bro. He's difficult.
I don't know why.
Was he so high that he couldn't open his eyes?
I don't fucking know.
He's a diva. He's a diva.
It's absurd. It's absurd.
Ridiculous.
No. Telling someone, hey man, open your eyes for this scene. No.
He don't want to see it.
That's not diva shit. That's
Now that's like, oh, that sounds like you don't want to get paid.
No, you don't get paid.
You're an actor. You act.
No, at that point, it's like, what are you gonna do? Recast all this money spent?
Like, can you please act your character and not your shoe size, sir?
I'm
Please
sure
open
he
your
could
eyes.
get fined. I'm sure there's like some type of, you know what? I'm very interested in that. I probably will like do some research to see what happens when actors are being defiant, because you definitely hear that sound, right? Like, do you get fined because it's contract work? So
when actors act up.
Yeah, when actors act up. I'm sure Will, you come here with the facts.
If it's like an act, they usually have like clauses in their like contracts and shit before they sign on for a film. Mm-hmm. Like remember Johnny Depp, like that whole situation that unfurled from him and his ex and shit. He was working on that Harry Potter movie on
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts. So he had a clause in his contract before they kicked him off the film. He had a clause in his contract that said that if he filmed anything for that film, he has to get paid the full amount. So basically, he filmed one scene before they kicked him off the film. So he had a clause that said that he had to pay them full amount, and he walked away with $50 million for one scene.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. Contracts ain't no joke.
No, I mean that's
that was smart for him. Shit, he got paid.
Yeah, he got paid. That's that negotiation for sure. But
I mean, he's an A-list celebrity. They gonna bend over backwards for him and shit though. I mean, they replaced him with like Mads Mikkelsen, which I'm not mad at because Mads Mikkelsen is a good actor though. But it's kind of like
it just breaks the continuity for me whenever they do like switches like that. Even you know for one reason or another. But like it's after the fact. But
Harry Potter been retconned so many times. Y'all can switch actors and we wouldn't care.
All right, so let's talk. What are your final thoughts about the movie Blade, and what was your favorite scene?
The motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill.
Who was he talking to?
He was like in the sewers, like fighting a bunch of vampires and shit, and they were trying him.
Oh man,
and they were trying him.
Yes, that was like this.
Like he responded in the most nigga way possible, like.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Boy.
Yeah,
this had a few. Not even in the first film, Joe. There was like a few scenes. Like even in the second one, I think is the best one. To be honest, I think the first film is the most memorable, but the second film is like the best one. Cause like I think Guillermo del Toro directed that one. Yep. Like there was some scenes with him and Ron Perlman that was just like golden and shit. Like I remember they were standing in the club and Ron Perlman was aiming the gun at him. They were on the same team, but Ron was being petty and shit. Yep. And Blade low-key had his gun like cocked like secretly aiming at his nuts. Aiming at his nuts, and it's like, yeah, that was cold and shit. But it had some gems, but they Blade was literally a nigga, and they casted a nigga for that role. And it worked.
And it worked. Yeah,
and it worked until 3.
And that's when the nigga really came out. They're like, God damn
it. How about you, Ken?
I agree with Will. Like that scene was just like, are you trying? you trying?
Me?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it just showed like it was nice because like it was a breakaway from like all the other stuff we would see before. Like, oh, everyone else trying to be a white knight. It's like, okay, how about a dark knight in a different sense, you know? Like I said,
literally. Literally. I was gonna say you and your Batman because that was
I will say
I didn't even get that one. I thought because of
well, then that works too. The layered joke.
See, my stuff works in multiple ways.
Bye.
It was just this one. But go ahead, Will.
I will say the scene with him and his mother was kind of weird. In the first one.
Vibes for sure.
It was really incesty. I'm like, God damn, why?
Now, like, why are you so close? Why are you on this?
Why are you so close?
Yeah.
like poor baby. Like, oh God.
Yeah, I know.
No.
I think I cringe every time I see that scene too. I'm just like,
I'm glad she got
to get a point across.
Even the way he stabbed her, that shit was like, yo, no. It looked like you penetrated her, bro, and like not in the way that, boy, that shit was weird.
I didn't need that visual.
Yeah, I didn't need that visual either. Drea, how about you?
It's been a while since I seen Blade, but I'm sure the last time it was on fucking TNT with all them goddamn commercials. But I did remember that nightclub scene. That's the one that sticks to me the most.
That nightclub scene was lit.
Yeah.
Between all them goddamn commercials, that's the one that stands out to me the most. And it shows how much I was really liking.
More commercials.
It shows how me and my mama like watching Blade. We sat through TNT and all.
Yes.
10-minute commercials.
Motherfucker had a sword, drew a line in the sand.
That's
like,
okay.
Cross it.
Will, get out of my fucking head. I was gonna say that was my favorite scene. Right?
Boy, yo, I told you I had this. I used to have this.
It was
movie.
so black.
I had this shit on VHS. That's how long ago this shit was. Boy, I watched the shit at that film.
When he was fighting, right? And I think he was fighting. I think it was after the club scene. They were going to the train, or they was in the underground, and they were fighting. He just crossed, like, made like a little line with his sword, like cross it. And then of course they did, but I just thought it just gave him so much character, so much charisma, and I was just like, I fucking love that scene. It just really shows like he can act physically, and you get a sense of his personality.
Oh, question.
Yes.
Do you think Mahershala Ali has that level of charisma? Because I've always seen him so serious.
You know what? And that's really why.
You never saw him play Cottonmouth?
On
I don't remember that being so
Luke
playful.
James.
What the fuck?
That's a singer.
No.
Luke James is a singer. Okay, I didn't randomly make that up.
But how he was associated with this?
You woman? How dare you talk about a Marvel film and you say the name wrong and like Luke James?
It's an actual singer that I just recently saw in a show, so it was on my head. It was in my head already.
Whatever excuses you want. What you just did was just
whatever, nigga. Anyways,
no, you're soft.
What was you gonna say, Drea?
No, I was just asking, do you see him having that level of charisma and personality? Because I've always seen him really serious. Even when I think about Cottonmouth, all I could think about is him being shitty to Mariah, talking about how she liked being assaulted. And she's like, I think she just murked his ass. I'm like, that's what your ass get. Little asshole.
Yeah, see, I know he's a good actor. So that's the only thing that's giving me hope that he can turn on that charisma.
I just haven't seen it.
But my problem is, will he be physically able to do some of the stuff Wesley Snipes is doing? Like I said, Wesley was trained or is trained, and so his action looks more believable. What'd you say, Ken?
Yeah, stunt actors.
Yes, but like it's something about the actual actor doing most of the stunt work that is really cool. And we're moving further away from that.
It was rare because a lot of those actors, like they're focused more on how many personas can they do, like when it comes to like their their monologues or whatever, kind of scenes
Yeah,
they'll
but
have.
see, that's why I'm saying,
Mhm.
like, with acting, it's more than one way of acting. We have our physical actors that act through their bodies, and then we
Non-actors.
have the ones that can do all the monologues and literally turn it to someone else. But Mahershala seemed like that actor that can turn it to someone else, but I just can't really see him being a physical actor either. So it will probably be a stunt double for him. And if I notice it, it probably will take me out of the experience. But
Well, I mean, it's kind
You
of like
know.
I think most, if not all of the MCU actors have stunt doubles.
yeah,
Some triples. Like they don't do their own action scenes. That's kind of how Hollywood is in general is now, because it's
and yeah, how
so
it's
vast and so
become.
big.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But no, they don't let them do anything that
Yeah.
would potentially
Hurt them. Yeah.
that would potentially hurt them, and well, not even so much as hurt them, like raise their insurance rates because they have to insure those actors
Mhm.
Yeah.
for certain shit.
And a lot of them have insurance on their body and body parts and stuff.
Insurance
so.
on insurance.
Unless you're Tom Cruise, because then the reason why Tom Cruise does all his own stunts is because he's a producer, so no one can tell him no one can tell him shit.
And he wants to do that stuff because he's one of the few he's one of the few that still actually.
Yeah, he wants to, but no one can tell him not to do it because he's a producer.
Mhm.
So that's why all those Mission Impossible films, he's producing this shit, and that's why he does his own stunts because he wants to do his own stunts, and no one has the clout to tell him no, nigga, it's too much.
I mean, I watch it, even though he's
I'll
like
still watch
5'2", but yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure Mahershala would like want to do some things, but he's also 47. And
That is
Wesley
also
Snipes was
true.
like 32 when he did.
Yo,
Blade.
Tom Cruise is like 52.
He do whatever he want. He's a producer.
But also,
He learned how to
there's
fly a
difference
helicopter,
'cause,
so he can fly that helicopter.
Tom Cruise is not out here just like doing fucking karate chops and shit either. He's like hopping on planes and going on windows and like he's doing that type of stunt work.
Zip
He's
lining.
not like I don't know why.
But
I
you
had
know
to do
what?
It,
With
but...
it being Blade, I'm sure he wants to be committed to do that shit.
yeah,
I'm sure
I
he
could
just be
definitely
highly
see him.
invested that he want to do it.
He
Like, I'm gonna be all
he
in.
probably getting big as fuck or is
Right
big
now.
as fuck. Yeah, and yeah, so it might work out. I have
He
hope.
probably writing shit on sticky notes. I don't know.
Yeah, at least to some degree.
Please,
I
I
mean,
hope he's not.
I mean,
Committed.
Yeah, because like for example, Dwayne Johnson, he's being committed to Black Adam, to where he's actually doing his.
Well, that nigga big though.
Hey,
Like,
let's
but
not talk.
that's a big on purpose.
I don't
He
want to talk
trained-
about Rock. Not after this weekend. I don't want to talk about that man.
Well, we won't talk about that
What
part.
happened
We
to the
won't-
This
weekend?
man dropped the rap. This
Oh,
nigga
I
dropped
heard-
the rap.
oh, I heard it.
Oh.
I
Rock
heard
raps.
it. I
The Rock
heard it,
raps,
y'all. I heard
I
it.
did
It was
not.
bad. It was bad.
I saw it. I heard it. I shared it.
I did
And
not.
it's a thing
And
that
I'm okay.
exists in the universe.
I'm mad that I'm the one who you shared that shit with, bro. I'm
I heard it. I heard it on the radio.
On the radio.
As a
No,
joke. It
we
was one
watched
of
the
those
music
okay.
video. This is a music
Yeah.
video. You go watch it.
Oh,
I'm not
hell no.
going to.
All right. All right, y'all. Let's
Reclaiming
go
my
ahead
time.
and wrap this up. Any other thoughts before I close it?
Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill.
Here we go. So you gonna cosplay
Oh.
that though?
Last thought for me
Doubtful.
is that, you know what? Blade feels like it was kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like Black Gothic, Black alternative. Like that was something that we can like visually see on the big screen, like see someone look like that. And I think I was really into like Gothic stuff and vampy stuff, and I was really into that world. And Blade was definitely like the first representation I saw where it was like he was Gothic looking to me. I don't
Black
know.
alternative fashion.
Yeah,
But then again,
was.
that's the fashion they get to vampires in general. So
Exactly, but it's just to see
Yeah.
a black body, like a black person doing like dressed like that. It was really cool. Besides Queen of the Dam, then that was my first black woman to see all like.
Yeah, I heard Queen of the Dam was horrible.
Oh, it's a bad movie, but like I said,
Yeah,
we didn't have
scary.
a lot as far as like black goth and black alt representation. So
Yeah, it's a good representation of it. Yeah, like you said, Black alt, and
mhm.
it's also like, yeah, we're different. What you gonna do about it?
Yeah, like it's
not
nice
like,
to
you know,
see us outside of the
you have to
stereotypical
like,
roles that y'all
Force
give
to
us.
contone to the hip hop scene the whole time. Like, if you like something different, yeah, or we like something different. What you
We
gonna
got
do
two moves, or well, I guess if you think of the trilogy, but
about it?
Blade, and then we have Queen of the Dam.
This
And
is what it's showing. You could
Vampire
be-
in Brooklyn. I don't know.
Yeah, you could be
Damn,
white
can
ass.
you really count Queen the Damn? She was only in there for like 20 minutes.
Hey, but she came in and she stole the scene. Whatever. I don't even know what she said. I just love the costume.
She didn't say that much. She was belly dancing though.
All right, let's go ahead. Thank you all for watching this video. What are your
R. Kelly
opinions?
was on the sidelines looking at it.
Oh, don't.
Oh,
Ew,
no.
no. Oh, God.
Control, Alt, Delete.
I'm going to bleep that whole name out. Oh, what are your opinions on Blade? Let us know down below. Remember to follow Echo 4 on all of our social. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps our videos. And we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Deuces.
Deuces.